now we're talking with the current leaders of the student body at St. John's College, Deputy Head Boy Ethan Williamson and Head Boy Donald Saunders Jr. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, great. So what's it like being a student? I was a prefect in St. John's in my last year, but what's it like now being responsible for the student body in a way in St. John's in 2025? And you can start first. Ethan, let's start with you.
All right, start with me. I kind of like being a student leader. I have the little children. They usually come to look at me. Most of them from the junior section, though. I kind of gained a reputation as Big Brother Ethan. That's what they refer to me as. And usually they come to me, they say if they have any problems. I usually try to help them as best I can. Most of the times I'm successful. Sometimes they have to come back, but usually when they come the second time around, I'm able to help them. But being a leader has, of course, helped me with my leadership skills, but also kind of with problem solving, because through helping them with their problems, it could give me a good foundation to help me with mine.
These are academic problems, personal problems?
Surprisingly, none of them have ever come to me for academic. I don't think. Well, they know that I am, of course, very adept in education, but for the most part, they just come with like personal problems. Mainly the boys, though. Sometimes girls come, but it's usually boy problem. I really can't help them with that, so I refer them to a female prefect. Yes.
Good. And how many prefects you have right now?
I think around 20 or 30.
20.
Okay.
20-something. 20-something.
What are the subjects that you prefer, and I guess when you prefer them, you excel at them, but what are the subjects that you prefer, that you really focus on?
Well, I would like to go back in time, go back to technical drawing. That was just an easy grade for me. But right now, it's probably economics. It's not my favorite subject. It's my best subject, though, and it will be the subject that will help me most in college.
Mm-hmm. And what do you plan to do when you go to college?
I would like to do law, probably civil law, specializing in family, maritime law.
That's interesting. That's a very interesting mix. And Don Saunders Jr., I know some people might know your name because of you're a man after my own heart. I used to be a swimmer, but you are the swimmer, really excelling in Crifta. And I'll start off with that. How far do you see yourself taking your swimming career?
My swimming career? Honestly, when I began swimming as a young child, I always thought it was just a fun thing to me. I loved the water, so I never thought I would take it this far. I never knew I would make it this far, but as I continue to swim, I honestly want to see myself represent my country at the highest stage, which is the Olympics, 2028 Olympics in LA. So I look forward to that, potentially, hopefully making that team.
2028?
Yes, sir.
That's cool. I know you can do it, man. And all those laps. Let people know how many laps you do a day in training.
On average, we swim about 5,000 meters of practice.
5,000 meters, that's about how many laps? That's like, because 1,000 is about 60, right? So 60 times 5?
That's a lot. It's in hundreds.
It's a lot of laps.
Yes, sir.
But what is your experience like at St. John's?
My experience over the years?
Yeah.
My experience over the years has been quite funny, actually, I'd say. We have a great student body where they're very humorous, I'd say. They're very humorous. And at St. John's, we tend to...
I can tell Ethan's one of the humorous ones.
Yeah, he is quite humorous. We tend to build bonds that last a lifetime at St. John's College. So many of my friends I've known from quite a young age, and many of them over the years during the grades, I've become closer with them. So I tend to take that bond to when I graduate and further in life, as some of the alumni might have told you that they have friends 50 years from now. You know,
no, I've got lifetime friends from there too.
Yes, sir. So
I graduated in '79.
Yes, sir. That's a common occurrence at St. John's College, I'd say. But my experience has been great. My teachers have been great. I've grown fond of some of my teachers. All are okay. I'd give them that. No.
What subjects you like more, and what do you think you want to do when you get out of St. John's?
When I started school, math has always been my favorite subject. I love numbers. I've always been able to remember formulas and things of that nature early. So math and physics are my favorite subjects, I would say.
Wow, great. And it also helps when you count them laps.
Yeah, so the time conversions and all that
What
stuff.
challenges, now you're head boy, obviously deputy head boy and the head boy have to work very closely together, along with the head girl and deputy head. Who are the head girls and deputy head girl?
Cyan Roll is the head girl and Deontay Fox is the deputy head girl.
Right. So you all have to form a strong bond.
Yes, sir.
And then you have to be role models.
Yeah, so
Do you find that to be a bit burdensome? I mean, you guys are young people.
I don't really.
No?
I like being looked up to.
You do.
Honestly, for me, I'd say,
But you love the challenge, you think?
yeah, it is a challenge,
It
but
is.
it also comes with its rewards. You know, it's always good to be someone else looks up to. It's always well to represent. You know, to represent who I am as a person. If someone else wants to model what you do, that means hopefully you're doing something positive, and that makes me happy and makes me trust that the next generation is gonna be great.
What's the greatest single thing you think you got out of your experience at St. John's? One thing, if you could limit it to that.
Probably World Scholars. I went to Europe at St. John's.
Oh, wow.
It's my first time traveling outside the American hemisphere.
Oh, okay. That was held where?
We went to Sweden,
Okay, yeah.
Stockholm.
All right.
And it was cold because, like, over here, I mean, I'm anemic, so, like, I don't really do well in the cold. I usually stay in the sun. But it was, like, less than 50 degrees. And I'm like, that's their summer. Me and Dawn, we walk around. We have our jackets on. Everyone looking at us weird. Because they
You
walk
take out
in
the babies
shorts.
because you're all right down here, right up, right?
And they're like, you're not hot? And we say, no. They hear our accent. Oh, where you from? From the Bahamas. The place with huts. I'm like, well, we have houses.
Wow, so there is still that mentality. So you see what we as Bahamians have to do to educate
rest
people
of the
from
world.
far and wide, eh?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yes. I told them, we have houses and internets.
What about you, Don? What's the single thing that you will treasure most out of your St. John's College experience? Thing you've learned the most, you think?
I'd say the friendship I've built. I believe the lasting friendship is the best thing I've gotten out of St. John's College, because I believe many of my peers who I surround myself are going to be successful and very instrumental in moving our country towards a brighter future. So to build that bond from a young age is really a great opportunity.
Now, I have to ask, because we had a lot of the alumni here, and which ways do you think that the association and former St. John's College students can help? Well, you're in your last years right now, huh? I should ask first, how many BGCSEs you have to take?
I have 4 more. I took 4 last year.
So you're lucky you got to split them up. We didn't get to do that when I was there. How about you?
I took 3 last year. I'm taking 5 currently.
Great. So what ways do you think the alumni can actually help you guys in your last year and then future leaders of St. John's College and the rest of the student body there? What do you think we can offer you more or most?
Me, in this stage of my educational journey, I would say networking skills and being able to connect with employers and persons, because we have a lot of successful alumni, so being able to connect with them for job opportunities and other opportunities would be the best thing, I would say, for me. But as a student body for younger students, I would say coming back and probably sharing the experience, because many students do not know that others actually go through what they went through. So having that person to look up to or connect with is honestly a best thing for them.
How about you, Ethan?
Yeah, I agree with what he said, but a little piggyback off what he said. Everything he said, of course, but I see the students at the school they are very driven when we do like events. I know when they came with Scotiabank for Junior John Canoe, that's the loudest I ever see them sing songs. I ain't gonna lie to you, but like, I would like to see more of that. I believe they do have some plans to come see us more. I believe that will help them as a student body. That help too. I'd say come around more. Usually when they see you care, they actually put the effort, because some people, they follow by example.
Sure.
And the best thing we could do is be a good example for them, show them how to treat others, how to have school pride. I mean, I always say, for me, Prime St. John's was grade 7 before the whole COVID disaster. That's
wow.
when
Actually, how did that affect your studies, both of you?
Well, I might be a little biased
yeah.
because COVID started on my birthday.
Ooh.
So I took that as an early birthday present because there was a half day at school because they closed it because there was no water. I remember that day so vividly.
You sure you don't want to be a stand-up comedian, man?
Me? No. But I heard that'll take me far in law. But hopefully, but yes, it was of course it wasn't good. But I like to see the positives and the negative, and of course, an early birthday present, I can't deny it. But for the most part, COVID, it did have some effects. I can see there's a little separation in the student body because, like I said, I always say prime grade 7, best years St. John's. Well, in terms of the social aspect, of course, the leaders and seniors, they were a little bit more closer, even if they weren't like interpersonal relationships. Like I believe, I would say they had better empathy than the people nowadays. Well, in St. John's, of course, because they could almost see it from our perspective. I believe because of the COVID, a lot of people missed out on some core aspects of high school, and because of that, they can't really
Catch up.
not really, well, catch up is one aspect, but like help other people because I never got a grade 8 or grade 9 really experience of St. John's. So usually, I say they usually come up to me, Feb. Sometimes they have problems, but I never had because I was home, either playing game or, of course, doing school. Sometimes I was doing both, but it was a nice experience going from home. I always wondered how it would have been doing school from home. It was nice for a while, but then I always saw there was a need to get back to school.
And be around your friends. What about you, Don? What was that experience like for you?
That
COVID?
experience was actually very interesting because during the COVID pandemic, we actually saw the strength of the advancements in our technology. And as an avid person interested in technology, I really saw the power of technology and what it can do and how it could really transform our world. So digital school was, I actually liked it as digital school, believe it or not, because I didn't have to get ready, get up, I could just wake up, go to class, go to the next class, eat food, and I like to be in the comfort of my own home all the time. I am a homebody. So it was really a okay experience. I did not like it. So.
Right. Well, I'm going to put this little burden on you, but it's not that much of a burden, I don't think, because you are two young men who are doing very well, and we expect great things out of both of you. Give some advice, look into this camera right here, and give some advice to other young men and how they can improve their lives and do good for themselves, their families, the Bahamas, and the world.
This camera radio?
This one right here, we start with you, Ethan.
All right. So young men, moving forward, I would, like I said earlier, I commend you and implore you to be a little bit more empathetic with people around you. Share most of your experiences. People say they learn from their failures or unsuccesses, but I would say use your failures and things you didn't really get to accomplish in its, I'd say, full extent or even at all. Let others be able to learn from you because learning from these experiences can get them pretty far.
Okay.
Don?
Young men of our country, I would say to seek help, even though you may think no one cares. People do seek professional help. If you're struggling with any mental health, please go and ask someone. Someone cares. Students in school, please go to guidance counselors, ask administrators, seek teachers, and most of all, pray. We need to pray. We need to add God back into our country. So pray, pray, pray. Thank you.
That's wonderful, amen. And before we close, and I want to thank you both for being here, but I'll say a belated happy birthday to you, Ethan. And today, as we tape, is March 18th, and it's actually Donald Saunders Jr.'s 17th birthday.
Thank you.
So happy birthday, man, and happy birthday to both of you.
you.
And continue to make us all proud, eh?
Thank you so much.
Do well in Crifter as well.
Yes, sir.
And we thank you all for being here with us on Reid Between the Lines. We will see you next time.
We're a true blend of hearts with one common goal, a goal that unites the fulfillment of souls. Souls ever searching on knowledge to gain and to learn God's contrivances, God without rain. True sovereign spirit ascends from the space, a strong realization we all have to face. So by you.